Hi, I'm Rick Anthony, and welcome to the Someone You Should Know podcast, the podcast that focuses on musicians, authors, and interesting people. We like to say we're making a difference one artist at a time. So sit back, have a cold one, and get ready to meet someone you should know. I am truly thrilled to have today's podcast guest join me because she is one of those individuals whose voice is so beautiful, but yet powerful. It's just incredible. Her voice has been described as a whole opera in one person and a haunting, beautiful sonic journey. And she plays many roles from actor to singer to writer. It's a truly an honor to have her on. I present Meridian ECR Music Group Artist, Grace McLean. How you doing, Grace?
Hi, I'm great, Rick. Thank you so much for chatting with me.
This is a real thrill because when this got pitched to me by a dear friend of mine, Natalie Hurley, for consideration on the show, I played it for my wife, Leslie, and she said, hon, you would be an absolute idiot if you don't have her on your podcast. My wife is absolutely right when it comes to that, and I really and truly value her opinion, and I listen to the music, and she's absolutely right. It is powerful. It is on point. And how did you start on this path to singing?
Well, my parents were musicians. They don't do it anymore. Okay. But I grew up in a musical household. My mom was a singer. My dad played bass. My mother also, towards the end of her career, she was learning Latin percussion.
Oh, really? Jeez.
Yeah. And when I was a kid, I'm going to get there. Don't worry. I'm going to answer your question. But when I was a child, when I was 7, and the after-school guy came around to, hey, the after-school music guy, come on and learn an instrument. I said, Mom and Dad, I want to play the drums. And they said, we have a saxophone. Play the tenor saxophone. Still, I am a drummer at heart, I think. I love a polyrhythm. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it was the saxophone. And then I went to a performing arts high school, and I went to college for acting. But man, I considered myself a serious actor. That's what I do. I'm an actor. Give me the Greeks. Give me Shakespeare. And I think part of that was like, Mom was a singer, and I was a little bit like, I don't want to do it with my mom. I don't want her to tell me how to do it.
Right.
That was my slight rebellion. But I started really considering myself as a singer when I was in high school, serious actor. And we had a master class with this jazz singer, Carmen Bradford, who was really awesome. And my voice teacher in the school was like, Grace, you can go last if we have time for you. And I said, okay. And then the class was over. It was 5:00 because we had a long arts high school day. Mm-hmm. And Carmen said, well, I'm still here to work if anybody wants to sing. So I said, I'd love to. And I think I sang The Man I Love. Mm-hmm. And she said, oh, you saved the best for last. And I said, I'm sorry, what? And then she said, why don't you come study with me? So then my first real voice lessons were jazz voice with this woman, Carmen Bradford, up in Los Angeles. And then when I moved to New York, I continued to study with her mother, Melba Joyce, who lived in Harlem. And both of them, I think they're sort of like non-traditional ways into singing. Like it wasn't, neither of them were like, let's do some scales. Right. Carmen said, come in with some songs, know the songs. You can sing it. You can sing what's on the page once, and then you better make it up. She was all about style, finding your style, improvising, and pocket. Get in the pocket. Melba, when I moved to New York, I wasn't allowed to sing a song for her until I could first just speak the words to Misty and make her cry.
Oh my good Lord.
I mean, she basically was like, if you, the performer, don't understand the song, you can't sing it. So from her, I really learned about storytelling, right? And being able to interpret a song because you understand it in a visceral way. So, it was a sort of a non-traditional way into singing, but I loved that they were sort of my foundation.
And the thing is, you've taken that, and get this how the press describes her music, folks. The Huffington Post says electrifying. Stephen Holden at the New York Times says, Ms. McLean's voice is a flexible instrument with unexpected reserves of power behind her playful adventurousness lies the well of passion. How do you describe your stylings?
Oh, well, I do think of my voice as an instrument.
Yeah.
So I try to use it as such, more than just a vessel for lyrics. The voice itself contains a human voice. There are so many sounds available to us. And it's my joy and my pleasure to have a continued curiosity about that. So my stylings, oh gosh, I think of them as curious. I think of them as, playful and surprising. Okay. That's what I always want to do is surprise myself and my audience.
Well, very good. Well, everyone's going to be surprised when they hear this very first song here. This is the brand new single. It actually came out in September. It's from the Meridian ECR Music Group. It, like I say, came out in September. It's called My Lovely Enemy. Can you give us the backstory on this song?
Absolutely. So I wrote this song a couple years ago when I was actually doing a bunch of research on a piece that turned into a musical. I wrote a musical about, it's called In the Green. So In the Green is inspired by the early life of 12th century German mystic, abbess, polymath, Hildegard von Bingen.
A good household name.
Yeah, we all know Hildy. But Hildegard was obsessed with Saint Ursula, who has, I think, since been decanonized. But anyway, so Saint Ursula's story is that she was engaged to a king, and then she said, actually, no, I will not marry you, sir. Instead, I'm going to devote my life to Jesus, and I'm going to go on a pilgrimage with 10,000 of my virgin friends to the Holy Land. So they do. They all get on some ships and they go to the Holy Land. And who's there? The Huns. And the Huns kill them all. And that's the whole story. That's the entire story. She was a very popular saint. People loved her. And so did Hildegard. And Hildegard has this poem. She has actually a lot of liturgical devotional work dedicated to Ursula. But she has this poem in which there's something really beautiful and full of like longing and sensuality around the moment of martyrdom and the moment of being killed, because there's something about these women who have renounced the world, who have renounced men, right? To say, no, I'm going to marry Jesus. I'm going to be united with the divine, but that can only happen in my death. So thank you, the Huns. Thank you, my enemy, for giving me this thing that I really want by taking my life from me. Because when you do that, I get to be united with the divine.
Wonderful.
So that's the inspiration for this song.
It's different. It's different.
It's different.
All right, everyone, get ready to be blown away. Here is My Lovely Enemy from today's guest, Grace McLean, on the Someone You Should Know podcast.
These handles held so many things, flowers aloft and diamond rings. This hand is longing now to hold your hand. These lips have touched so many things, good food and drink and songs to sing. These lips are longing now to touch your hand. And now with my last breath I bind myself to you. It's just a little death that keeps me from my gloom. Hasten, hasten, now my little body lies upon the ground. Shaken, shaken by my preparations, shaken by the sound of my lovely enemy, whom I love for bringing give me all the blood, give me the blood, give me blood, give me blood, give me all the blood, give me the blood, give me blood, give me blood, give me all the blood, give me blood, give me blood, give me all of the blood. Look and listen, I have given up the need to fight it off. Give him all the room he needs to finish me off. I have waited patiently to be faded by my enemy. Who said, give me good, give me all the good, give me good, give me good, give me good, give me all the good, give me good. You've been courting me in the shadows. You have waited a lifetime to walk me home down the streets of my own heart. We've been betrothed for who knows how long. And now, my love, I will see your face. For life is darkness, death is daybreak. This hand has held so many things. This hand is longing now to hold your hand.
Wow, great music right there. My Lovely Enemy from Grace McLean, right here on the Someone You Should Know podcast. More music from Grace coming up in just a bit. But I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in to the Someone You Should Know podcast. We are found on the World Wide Web at Someoneyoushouldknowpodcast.com. There you're going to find our recent news, our archive of past episodes, and a whole lot more. If you happen to be visiting, we invite you to leave us a review. Let us know how we're doing, okay? And we are so very blessed to be reaching so many cities around the world. We're in 1,700 cities and over 80 countries around the world. I want to thank a couple of new ones: Saugerties, New York, Gilbert, Arizona, and Tunisfort, Germany, wherever that is. Thanks for tuning in to the Someone You Should Know podcast. Someone You Should Know podcast, heard wherever quality streaming audio is available. We are speaking to Grace McLean. She has got a new album coming out in 2024. I see you're working with my friend Blake Morgan over at ECR. And the song we just heard is going to be part of an album that's coming out sometime in 2024. Any guess on a release date, or how's it going?
Oh, it's going great. And we will be releasing it in early May.
Awesome. Very good. So when it does get released, please let us know about that so we can put it in the news. How do you like working with Blake and the crew over at ECR?
Blake has been so wonderful and such a great champion of the music. He mastered the album as well, did a great job. And it's so nice to have somebody on your side who knows what they're talking about. It's been a while. I've been, trucking along and making my tunes, but it feels good to have someone as intelligent and just knowledgeable about music and about the industry, holding my hand.
Very good. Please give Blake and Natalie a hug for me. We really like those folks over there. Other facets of Grace's skill set include several TV shows, writing, musical theater, both on and off Broadway. What are some of your favorite roles that you've played both on stage and on screen?
Yeah. Well, I think my favorite role that I've played on stage in my first Broadway show, which was called Natasha, Pierre, and the Great Comet of 12. Longest title ever. But it's a show based on a portion of War and Peace. Not the whole thing, just a little portion.
It's a big book.
It's a big book, but y'all, it's worth it. And I love my Tolstoy.
All right.
And I played Maria Dmitrievna, who was Natasha's godmother. And what was so exciting about it to me was I am a casual Russophile, and I had read War and Peace for fun a couple times. And I saw this show when it was off Broadway before I was involved in it. And I just loved it so much. But to get to step into that world and inhabit it was just really thrilling for me on a super nerd level. And then also Broadway's fun. I had a great time doing that show on Broadway.
Leslie and I absolutely love musical theater, and we really and truly, every time we live outside of Chicago, And every time we can, we'll go to see some musical theater in Chicago.
Great.
Yeah, we're big fans and such. It's time for us to give you another song here. This one's called Reckless with Grace McLean here. What's the story on Reckless? How this become part of your repertoire?
This was a song I wrote with my looping station. We haven't talked about that yet. I wrote my whole musical on the looping station as well. This was, I think, an earlier song where real limitation with a loop. It only goes so far and it loops back in on itself. So how can it be interesting? How can it be surprising? How can I build a foundation that's trustworthy and then sort of subvert it? And Reckless to do that, and also to make some fun noises with my voice and just sort of imitate.
That is amazing, too, what you can do with your voice. It just absolutely amazes me. Ready to get reckless? Let's get reckless right now. Here's Grace McLean right now on the Someone You Should Know podcast.
Late afternoon, and I want to play with you. Sing you the tune that I cannot say to you. Lionesses are lying in wait, they paw the ground, licking their lips and shaking their manes, they'll hunt you down. I want to kiss you upon the palm of your hand. Do you think she'll miss you slipping off your ampersand? Lionesses are lying in wait, their tongues are red, licking their lips and shaking their manes, they heard what you said. Lovers are calling and we are stalling. Lovers are calling and we are stalling. Lovers are calling and we are stalling. Lovers are calling and we're stalling. I want to be reckless, reckless. Ooh, reckless, reckless. I want to be reckless, reckless. I wanna be reckless. Have you heard about the moon? All the secrets she contains. Oh, she will never tell, but she will look at us with aloof understanding. Is that your hand on my waistband? Lionesses are lying in wait, they want to dance, licking their lips and shaking their manes. This is your chance. This is your chance. This is your chance. I want to be. Drunk girl at the party. Late afternoon crumbles into the night, singing a tune with someone else's by. Late in the evening, no slaughter, brink, no blood. Levees are heaving, still waters want to flow. This will not last, you necromancer. Lionesses are lying in wait, they paw the ground, licking their lips and shaking their manes, they'll hunt you down. I want to be reckless, reckless. Ooh, reckless, reckless. I want to be reckless, reckless. I wanna be reckless.
Reckless from Grace McLean right now on the Someone You Should Know podcast. Great song right there. And this next section here has actually taken me a little time to go through this because I want to make sure I get this right. So let me sit up straight here. We're going to go through some of her accolades. I want you to listen to this lady's accomplishments, okay? A writer in residence at the Lincoln Center Theater, where her first original musical, In the Green, was commissioned and produced. She's received the 2020 Richard Rodgers Award and the Lucille Lortel Award for Outstanding Lead Actress in a Musical. She has 2 artistic ambassadorships with the U.S. State Department, touring in Pakistan and Russia. Her band performed in both the 2015 and 2016 Lincoln Center American Songbook Series. You are on the Broadway Women's Fund Woman to Watch in 2021, the Jonathan Larson Grant recipient in 2021, a member of the Civilian R&D Group, McDonald Fellow, and Lincoln Center for Performing Arts Emerging Artist in 2017. Whew. Gee, what's your high water mark?
Oh gosh, just trying to keep swimming.
This is incredible to have someone with this kind of chops. And that's the point of this particular show. It's called Someone You Should Know. And these are people who should know about a talented artist like yourself. You've got the music. You've got the skills to be on stage. You've got the skills to be on television. And I am just thrilled to have you on the show to do this. Let's talk about some of those accolades there. Anyone surprise you?
Oh, well, the Richard Rodgers, that was a big deal. Mm-hmm. I got that for In the Green, for my musical. Mm-hmm. Wow, that's the first musical I've written. Since then, I do have some others in the works, but, I didn't go to school to study for it. I know about musicals because I'm in them a lot. And writing that was probably one of the hardest things I've ever done. Took me many, many years. Took me a lot of collaboration and a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, all of those things, to really figure out how to translate something that meant something. It meant a lot to me. But the work was trying to figure out how to make it mean something to somebody else. I know. And at least it meant something to those Richard Rodgers people, which is pretty cool because Richard Rodgers knew what he was doing. So to have a little stamp of approval, that was a real boost to my confidence as a writer, and helps me continue to try to be on that path, because it's not easy.
I say, where do you go from here? I mean, you're reaching all these pinnacles here. What's next for you?
Oh. How about gardening?
How about a Grammy?
How about a Grammy?
Let's see if we can get you on your road to a Grammy with this show here. Okay.
Sure.
Now, performing both on stage and on screen, I'm sure you've had a few moments where things didn't go quite as planned. This next section is called Tales from the Road. These are those infamous road stories where things did not go quite as planned on stage or getting to a gig or something like that. What would you say Grace McLean's Tales from the Road might be?
Well, I want to tell you 2 stories about performing in Pakistan.
Oh, okay. That sounds good. All right.
I think, yeah. So my first performance was in Islamabad at a music festival, which was so cool because it was musicians from all over the country, and then me, and I think a band from Poland. But then everyone else was Pakistani. And what was so exciting is right before I go on stage, just a little set, somebody pulls me aside and says, "Grace, I just want you to know, so you're not alarmed when you're out there. During your set, there might be a little bit of cold fire." And I said, "What? Does cold? Okay, here we go." Mm-hmm. And then I went out there and I'm doing my set. And what they meant by cold fire was pyrotechnics at the foot of the stage, just going off in my face. Had no going to happen. They just went kind of randomly. And then there was a breeze. And so like the smoke from the pipe from the fire would get into my mouth. And then I couldn't.
All that sulfur and everything.
But all my songs, the songs are on the looper. So it requires me to continue to make, but I couldn't because I had to step over here and like cough and breathe and then come back and keep trying to make the loop. Really scary and fun, and we got through it. The second one in Pakistan was we had a bunch of different kinds of gigs. And one of our gigs was playing for like a business school graduation.
Okay.
And so I was not looking forward to this when I was there with my band. This was the one we were like, oh no, they're gonna want us to be like a DJ, and they're gonna request things that we just play what we play, and we just got to get through this night. They were all very nice. And when we got there, those students had done a deep dive on me before I got there. Wow. And what we're requesting were songs from my Harry Potter band, because I have a Harry Potter band.
You have a Harry Potter band?
Yeah. We're called Lily and James. Mm-hmm. We haven't written anything in a while, but it was just me and my friend Jay, and it's honestly really fun. But they were requesting, like, we have songs on Bandcamp. They went and found it.
Wow.
And we're requesting deep, deep cuts, and it actually turned out to be a lot of fun. We hadn't rehearsed those songs, but we figured out how to do it.
Wow.
And we gave them some Harry Potter in Pakistan.
Have you noticed this in your travels? You're talking about Pakistan, you're talking about going to Russia and everything like that. Have you noticed that music is the universal language?
Absolutely.
It is.
Absolutely. It's an incredible way to have like a real cross-cultural exchange, is by sharing your music.
Yeah, it's amazing. I've had bands from Norway, Denmark, Sweden, and they speak broken English, but they sing so effortlessly, better than I can talk, you know? And I asked, how did you do it? He says, watching American television.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah. When I was in Russia, I was there. It was myself and another singer, a Venezuelan guy, who said that he learned his English by watching The Golden Girls. I think it's pretty good.
Awesome. Those Americans, very loose, yeah.
Right.
Grace, how about some social, give us a list of your socials so we can stay in touch with your, any dates you're performing and also your album release.
Yes, I am at That Grace McLean on all the places. That's okay. That GRACEMCLEAN.
All right, very good. What I'll do is we'll keep those down in the show notes, because I definitely want everyone to stay in touch with this lady here. You've heard her music. You're going to hear a little bit more in just a second here. But before we do that, any final thoughts, Grace, that we should know about you that we haven't talked about already?
Oh, my gosh.
We've covered a lot of ground.
We really have. I think I'll just say that this is just a little tidbit. I started using a looping station because in 2007, a playwright friend of mine showed me Reggie Watts on YouTube. And then eventually I just Googled what kind of looping station does Reggie Watts use. And then I bought that kind and taught it to myself. So the internet is an amazing place.
It's amazing what you can do. Absolutely. The things, I mean, my wife has fixed the dryer while watching a YouTube video, you know. And instead of paying $250 for someone to come and repair it, she fixed it for like $20 and watched a YouTube video. So it's just amazing. It's just amazing. You and my wife have a lot in common. Of course, you got the red hair, but you're both brilliant and very skilled. So
we should be friends.
So she'll have to friend you on Facebook or YouTube or one of your socials or something like that.
I hope so.
All right, very good. Last song we're going to feature is Everybody Loves. What's the backstory on Everybody Loves?
Oh, I got dumped.
Uh-oh.
I got dumped, and I said I was sad for a minute, and then I said, hold on, there's this space now in my life, and I can be sad about it, or I can fill it with things that I love and I care about, that I don't have to compromise for somebody else who doesn't want to do it.
That's absolutely.
So it's about filling that space with love. Yeah.
All right. The guy's a moron, by the way, for dumping you. You're just an absolutely wonderful person. I am so very thrilled to have you on the show, Grace. And it's been an absolute treat as we get ready to go to the holiday season. I wish you the very, very best. I hope Santa Claus brings you a Grammy in 2024.
All right, I'm gonna put it on my.
Put on your wish list there, yeah. Ladies and gentlemen. Grace McLean, thanks again for being on the Someone You Should Know podcast.
Thank you.
Without you, I have learned something new. Without you, cup of coffee the way I like it. Move my feet if I can't bike it all the way up the hill outside my door. What am I waiting for without you? I feel something new without you. I feel my way through the getting up and the going out. I seem to have misplaced my doubts. I know I showed up to say goodbye, but excuse me while I kiss this guy. My shoes are wet, my face is wet. You'll never get me back again. My shoes are wet, my face is wet. You'll never get me back again. Everybody loves being drunk. Everybody loves having fun. Everybody loves listening to another. Everybody loves staying up. Everybody loves having more than enough. Everybody loves looking for a lover. Everybody loves going out. Everybody loves getting to shout. Everybody loves looking for their other. Everybody loves. Everybody loves. Everybody loves feeling love. Everybody loves feeling love. I wish you could feel my love.
Hi, this is Rick Anthony, thanking you again for listening to this episode of Someone You Should Know. Now, if you're an aspiring musician or an established musician that's looking for a little exposure, I invite you to drop us a line at someoneyoushouldknowpodcast@gmail.com. That's someoneyoushouldknowpodcast@gmail.com. Also, I invite you to tell a friend about the Someone You Should Know podcast. I thank you for tuning in this time, and I invite you to check us out next time on the Someone You Should Know podcast, because you never know who's going to show up. Until next time, remember, God loves you, and so do I.